Hello. Hi. Welcome. Hey, Therese.
Friends,
Caro.
it's a
Hi.
sparkly day. Be sparkly.
Sparkle.
Sparkle,
Sparkle,
sparkle.
sparkle.
Hey, everybody. It's Monday. And Therese is here. And our friend Caro's here, who we've missed, but she's been busy. She has a life. So, she has things to do. We're glad she made time for us today.
I have so much work.
Well, okay. I was hoping it was more and you got to do fun stuff. Work sucks, but you got to do it. So
I guess kind of like, okay, you know how like sometimes people like will be like, oh no, I can't make it, I have to wash my hair, right? I told Liz I can't make it, I have to sand my Mando armor, which I felt like was almost the same thing. It's like, sorry, I have to sand.
I have family members who are big into cosplay. I totally got it. So I know how much effort they put in. So I totally get it.
Yeah, I don't know how that would have been. You guys would have seen me like on my camera, and I would have to keep muting myself as I was using the sander, be like,
Yeah, my daughter and niece went to an anime convention once, and they were steampunk Willy Wonka, and my father-in-law helped my niece make this giant foam sword, and he had no idea what he was doing and what it was for. He just helped her use the tools.
Oh, I actually brought my boobs that I sanded. Hold on.
Cool.
This is why I wasn't here. I was sanding this.
Sanding boobs.
Oh,
I was sanding my
very
boobs.
cool.
Yeah. So.
Very nice. Hello, Nita. Stopwatch blue hand timer.
What?
Oh,
is that code?
No, it's an emoji.
Oh. Okay. Otherwise, I thought it was code, and Joe was telling us she was in danger.
No, for the emojis on YouTube, don't come over to StreamYard.
Okay. That might explain some of the comments we've had in the past. So,
or we have smoking crack in the chat,
could be either. I was just watching a crazy cop cam video, and the lady was going bonkers, had been in an accident, and then was trying to break into someone's truck, convinced that her quote friend was in the trunk of this truck. And these total strangers, they had no idea who she was. She's trying to break into their truck. She's talking about the guy she had the accident with, who she didn't even know, but was claiming was her friend. And she kept begging the cops to let her see inside the trunk. And they knew she was having some kind of mental issue. And finally, one cop says, "Why are you acting crazy?" Because then she was talking about something about Christians and then conspiracies. And then she knows what they're doing. And then later on, it turned out she had heroin because she was trying to find her friend so she could inject him with heroin because he was in pain after the accident. And then
the story.
And then I left,
like you do.
Yeah, and then I left because something about they were killing the Christians and eating them. So I don't know if Soylent Green was a thing, and the cops should know who she was. And I'm like, well, they probably do now. And I mean, granted, it was very unprofessional for the cop to ask her why she was crazy, but I can't blame her because she was all over the place. And when she started about the heroin, and the cop said, because she kept saying she was Christian, and the cop said, "Is heroin a Christian thing to do?" And it stopped the lady for a moment. She goes, "Well, I believe in giving people pain relief." You were going to inject him against his will, lady. I don't think you wanted a total stranger that you hit with your freaking car. And they're Baker acting her, and the one cop at the jail to try to get her in the jail or in the van was acting like he was totally along with her crazy, just so that she would keep talking and just just get in the van. And then finally she's like, "Well, I don't feel comfortable in here." He's like, "Nobody feels comfortable in here. It's jail, ma'am." He's like, "We're not taking you to a 4-star hotel, lady." And other people were like, "We're sorry that she's crazy. We just don't want her breaking into our truck." Like, we promise there's nobody in the trunk. And then someone in the comments said, "Well, maybe he's hiding in the trunk to get away from her," which I don't know. It was just bizarre. So, but welcome to Monday. It's been a crazy weekend.
Yes.
Lots of stuff. So.
But you're a winner, aren't you? Didn't you win?
I did. I won Neurotics giveaway. I'm very excited. Thanks to Ann Pinkova, who posted my name. So I'm going to get my own Nerdrotic mug, which nobody in my family's allowed to touch. So Not that they would, but I've already put the warning out. But no, my husband's been sick, and so dealing with that, and my son's having a bit of a crisis because he starts a new job on Monday, and trying to figure out all the stuff he needs to do and get ready for. Plus, they're having a huge Halloween party on Friday, so yeah. I'm trying to explain to him that you should have bought your suit earlier so you have time to get it tailored in case you need to get it tailored. That you're not necessarily going to be able to get same day tailoring somewhere, so now he's panicking. So it's all good.
The suit, is that for the job or the Halloween?
Yeah, for the job, because the
Okay,
job
I'm like,
is
What's he?
job is with the state,
Right.
and we don't know what the dress code is,
Right.
but he's going to show up at least in a suit and he hasn't had a suit in years, so he needs one.
I
But,
thought it was for the Halloween party, and I was like,
no,
wow,
he
that's
has that.
hardcore getting it tailored.
No. They actually did get tailored Jedi robes for the Halloween thing, which, as he put it, they'll use them over and over again. So I guess the money was worth it. He's going to be Obi-Wan, and his one roommate, she's going to be Anakin, and the other roommate's going to be Luke Skywalker. And they all have their coordinating lightsabers, and they've invited their guests to show up from the Star Wars universe. So my daughter's going to be Cal Kestis, and should be interesting. Luckily, all his female friends that they have are nerds like they are, so they go along with it. So that's good. So what's everybody working on?
I'm working on my cosplay.
Well, good for you. That's totally
Not
valid to work on.
Knitting and crocheting, right?
I guess I'm sewing. Is that what I'm doing?
Sewing. Okay.
Yeah.
It's creating. It counts.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that when the armor tits are on, they don't fall off.
That would be awkward.
Yeah, like oh, sorry, dropped my tits. I'm gonna have to pick them up. Sorry, sir. I'm really sorry about that.
Oops.
Well, I mean, if you're doing are you doing the whole armor, the whole body armor? Well, I guess if you get it done by January 7th, you can enter it in the sweater competition since it's the full body armor.
Probably
And
not.
you are sewing, so that kind of counts.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Well, yeah, because after I get done putting these Velcro fastens on, I have to work on my cape.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, just tiny things. Gotta work on my cape, guys. Gotta work on my cape so that way I can walk around with a dramatic flair.
Well, of course.
Capes and cloaks are very important in that universe.
Mhm.
Folks.
You don't know who I am if I don't have a cloak, right?
Yes. My son's already been practicing his cloak drop because, Obi-Wan's known for that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was going to make an entrance when they first came in and drop his cloak. They've already sketched out and been practicing a lightsaber battle. So it should be interesting. My daughter's there to film everything for blackmail purposes. So, but it should be fun. I worry about their cats, but I think the cats will be smart enough to stay as far away from the party as possible.
Yeah.
And it's fine, despite the fact it's a Halloween party. They're all in their 20s and they all have to go to work, so they don't party like they used to anymore.
Oh.
Which is kind of funny. He called me the other day. He's like, "Mom, I'm old. I get tired now."
Oh.
Like, welcome to adulthood there, sweetie. So, what are you making, Therese?
I have a hoe. Where'd it go? I have a hoe.
Yay.
I finished a sock. Here it is.
Ooh.
I still don't.
I love that green.
I still can't find my sock. Okay, I didn't look for him. So it's a sec. So then I cast on another one, like you do. And
Like you do.
This one is.
Ooh,
I
I like that.
Yeah. Look, Amy, it's very autumnal.
It is. Denise would be very impressed.
It's autumnal.
She loves those
Look at me.
colors.
Look. So, and I did it top down, which I haven't done in forever.
Ugh.
So that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to plan future projects and still trying to find a sweater to do for your little shindig.
Well, don't you have a crochet sweater you were working on?
Yeah, but
Or you just don't want to finish?
I got to do sleeves.
Ah,
I might just do the sleeves on my Calliope and be done with it since I'm not eligible for prizes.
well, not officially, but doesn't mean you might not get something in the mail.
Yeah, it's
You
probably-
should finish that Calliope. You've been wanting that. I remember when you started that you really wanted to wear it. So
Well, I do, but I have to. That's like deep winter wear because it's got cashmere and I think it's cashmere merino silk or something. So it's
Ooh,
like
nice.
deep winter. You know, like we don't wear this until January.
yeah, but that'll be the perfect timing to have it done by.
So that's what I might do. I just dread. If I dread doing crocheted sleeves, I really dread doing knit sleeves.
See, sleeves don't bother me that much.
And I have to modify the sleeves because the pattern, they're too big. They're like bishop sleeves or whatever. I don't
Oh
want
yeah.
those. I don't want those. I just
Well,
want straight sleeves. So
her style is like that too, though. A lot of the free sweaters she's put out have those
Yeah.
big loose stuff.
So I'm going to have to steal a sleeve pattern from another sweater, which is fine.
Just find one that's got a similar stitch count. And
Yeah.
I had to start my Christmas sweater over because my yarn was messed up, and then I started it over, and I was doing great on the yoke. But when I started over, I didn't re-swatch with the new yarn. I thought I'd just use the needles in the other one, and it came out like way too big in the yoke. So I restarted it, and this time I thought, well, since I had to restart it anyway, I was going to put in short rows for the neck. So I put in short rows, and it's a tea leaves pattern. It's free. Michelle Berry or Melissa Berry, LeBerry did it. It's an older pattern, and it doesn't come in every size, and that's part of my issues. I'm having to make it bigger because it doesn't come in my size, but it's fine. I'll get it done. And then I did get yarn from Chicken Lady. This is her Christmas colorway.
Ooh.
Ribbon Candy. And I have a hat coming out in December that will be free. And it's really pretty.
It is pretty.
And speaking of the sweater knit along, hopefully everyone is participating who wants to, and we hope you do. And I decided to kind of encourage people is if you're doing it, send us pictures to the Knit Night Podcast at Gmail if you're not on Instagram. But if you're on Instagram, send them to our Instagram. Our hashtag is, I know it's terrible and long, Knit Night Christmas Goodwill. The problem is when I tried to do it, there were so many similar ones, so I had to make it longer to make it different. And what I'm giving away is our dear friend Tina from Aweneth Yarn and Fiber just did a initial dye of a new color called American Grit. And since she's back to dyeing yarn, she released some of the yarn that was in her stash. And this is one of her previous colorways.
That's pretty.
Magical Misfit is and then I'm going to do that, and this project bag from Fate's Threads. It's a small project bag. It's got Poe and Grimm's Fairy Tales, which I figured was perfect for this time of year. And so send us a picture or post it to the hashtag, and at the end of the week, pick a name and send out a prize.
Which week?
And then at the end of this week, this is just a mini prize to get people going. And then we'll do something for November.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah. Oh, and the other thing I've been working on is my Gingy Knits Corinne Welcher Just Leafy, which I put aside to work on for Christmas because this is going to be short sleeve. So It's got the leaves and the. So.
It's looking good.
Yeah, thanks. I split for the sleeves. So that's on hold for now because I'm not going to wear it for a while anyway. And since we're doing a Christmas knit along, that was my idea. I figured I got to make sure the Christmas sweater gets done. So,
Like me.
and I do know for a fact, though, Joe Bob's working on a sweater.
Oh,
So
okay.
when we do the Friday one, I'm sure she'll want to show it. So,
I'm sure.
and
We will
Neil-
want to see it.
Spill her drink on it.
yeah, let's hope not. Yeah, let's hope there's no near misses of alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages being spilled in the mobile office. Neil can't be here tonight because he is working on the cover for issue 17 of Blocked, which should be out soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting.
It's a good issue.
Kinda. Yeah, there's some stuff in there that should be
Very
interesting.
special issue.
What is the name of Lynn's new purple and teal colorway? I do not know. If anybody in the chat knows.
I think
They can
somebody said
say-
taxi.
Taxi? Maybe. I don't know.
Purple
What
and
Fabry
teal.
said.
Purple and teal. Oh, October 31st is when it is coming out. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Thank you, Neil.
Oh, thanks, Neil.
And so it should be a good issue. There's some interesting stuff in it from what I hear.
Mhm.
And there will be an ad in there for the sweater knit along. So if you need any details, it should be in Blocked magazine too.
Yep.
So that's about it. Anything else you guys have been up to?
Nope. Just watching football and whatever.
I had to go back and keep watching baseball.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Tina needs to make Joe Bob a colorway called Taxi.
Oh, okay.
She must be hauling her children places.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad
I
Tina's
will-
dying again.
I know. I'm very excited. Her American Grit colorway is very pretty.
My favorite of hers, I gotta like save up. I want a sweater's quantity of clouds in my coffee.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. I don't
It's a
have that
good
one,
song.
but that's really pretty. She'll dye it for you. Yeah,
that
she'll
reference.
definitely. Yep. She'll dye you a colorway, a sweater quantity, I'm sure, because she's good like that.
She's a nice lady.
Gotta.
She is, and
Okay.
hopefully she's going to be on sometime, depending on
Okay.
her schedule.
That'll
It
be
has the word. Danielle says it has the word "dye" in the name. I guess she's talking about the Chicken Letty colorway. I don't know.
Don't know. Keep up with everything.
It's kind of hard. Too many people have come out with pretty. Well, there's the whole slew of missing Rhinebeck colorways that have come out,
Yeah. I know
and then
we-
the exclusive Rhinebeck colorways. So you can get one if you go and get one if you don't. It's kind of nice. I didn't see a bunch about it in my Instagram, which was kind of nice for once. Not a lot of drama, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't see any drama. I did watch. I watched the Cocktail Hour at the Coop, and so they did a Rhinebeck recap show, and just
Where-
watching it made me twitchy because there's so many people there, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, ugh.
yeah. I guess it's no dye dumped one. Okay. Yeah, too many people there. I mean, I've been to conventions and stuff, but just
Mhm.
I don't know. There's
Yeah,
too
I never-
much.
I never had a
Chan-
desire to go. Mm-mm.
There's too much chance for drama there. Like it could be set off like fireworks.
Yeah, especially now.
You know.
I used to love to go to Maryland Sheep and Wool, which is still big, but it's not as big.
I think
And I
that's
would go on
been-
Sunday because that was even better.
well. It's probably because of the weather too. Haven't they had a lot of rain the last few years
Where's that?
at Maryland Sheep and Wool?
It's in May. It's the first weekend in May, so it could go either way. I've been when it's rainy and muddy, and I've been when it's sweltering hot and humid because it's Maryland, and everything in between. So it could go anyway. But it's not as crowded. Plus, it was always easier for me to go because it was, in my
Right there.
right there. I've been forever. So I'm not driving from here.
I don't blame you.
No.
I never went to Rhinebeck when I lived in New Jersey, but I barely even knew about it then because I wasn't much on the internet crocheting at the time.
Well, and I don't understand. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say it, like a cult thing or something. Like, I'm not going to go stand in line for an apple cider donut for an hour. Oh, you got to
No.
have a donut. Okay, I'll go to 7-Eleven and go get me a Krispy Kreme or something,
Yeah, it's almost like they treat it like a pilgrimage. Like it's
Yeah.
the end all be all of the knitting world. And if that's your thing and you like it, that's great.
Yeah.
Go enjoy, have fun. I just don't.
It's just not my thing.
To me, it's like going to an amusement park and standing in line for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to do nearly as much as you would like to do because you're always standing in line.
Right. And it's crowded.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'd be fun to go look at all the people's sweaters and stuff, but
Well,
And
I saw a bunch of people, and again, this kind of looked like a cult thing. All the people wearing that Andrea Mallory sweater, the one that looks like quilt blocks.
oh yeah.
He is standing there, kind of holding court, and they're like everybody in the vicinity is all wearing the same sweater.
Yeah, a lot of the designers do that. And then they do
And it's
meetups
just like,
there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've never knit
Yeah.
something just
Which
because.
is your thing. I don't want to have the same sweater that 50 other people are wearing.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the Stephen West MCAL the 1 year, and I tried last year, but that didn't happen. I got mad after the first clue and quit. And the year before, I didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah, but the chances
So-
are where you, like, if you're out and about in your neighborhood, you're not going to see other people wearing that shawl or whatever,
No, though
And
my,
these people are all going and all wearing the
I
exact
know,
sweater. It's just like,
yeah,
but whatever. That's just me.
yeah. I like when Christy Glass used to do her video when people would have something different or something custom made or something they designed themselves. Those were the fun ones instead of the same, what's it? Caitlin Hunter sweater, everybody wearing it in 50 different colors,
Yeah.
It's like, that's nice, but she has a ton of other patterns. Why don't, did you have to knit the one that everyone else knit?
Right.
Like you don't belong unless you join the cult of knitting patterns.
Oh, but the FOMO. I gotta be like
Yeah.
everyone else. Oh.
Yeah, that is true.
It just gets
And-
to be like, I don't know, like you're worshiping this person who all they do is design sweaters. Like, they're not a god, It's I don't know, just weird to me.
Yeah, the whole worship idol kind of thing that social media
Mm-hmm.
does. It's like, I don't know. To me, people are people, no matter what their job is.
Right.
It doesn't make them any more special than my neighbor down the street, And when we would have celebrities come into the gallery, they would, some wanted to be treated like celebrities and some didn't. But the ones that want to be treated like celebrities, it just annoyed me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
A, you're probably not going to buy anything because celebrities are notoriously don't like to spend their money. And B, you're going to take my time away from people who actually are here, who want to look at the art and might want to take a piece home. So yeah, no, I'd rather go work with a person who's more likely to spend money and, not expect to be waited on hand and foot.
Yeah, that's
Because at the end of the day, you're no more special than anyone else who comes in the door. And like people idolize athletes and celebrities and politicians, and I don't get it.
I don't get it. Mm-mm.
No, Joe, Amy's not back yet. I think she's either coming back today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow, maybe.
I think tomorrow. I'm not sure. Oh,
I do know she's had good weather though. So
Mhm.
is it size inclusive? Is what size inclusive?
You were talking about that sweater cult.
Oh yeah. That's their big thing now. They want every designer to design every garment that fits every individual body type, no matter what. And they don't want to pay for it. They don't want to pay for more than $5 for the pattern.
Mhm. It's hard
Oh,
to size.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, Roger died. Sad. He lived a good life though. And
Mm.
he learned to curse out people.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sad.
Poor Raj.
Roger.
He was a good cockatoo.
He was a good cockatoo. Roger.
And, he was sick and there was nothing they could do to cure him. So,
Yeah.
he got to live out his life happy. But it's okay though. Joe still has 50 million animals at her farm.
She does.
And her daughter's probably bringing home a new one today. So you never know.
I found a cow.
Cow, lamb, dog, pigeon. At least she doesn't bring in the snakes and things that Joe really
I was
hates.
just getting ready to say snake.
But I know she has those puppies that she wasn't really happy about. But that's what happens when you go away and people don't follow directions. So
It's like risky business up in here. Yeah, I'm sad about Roger.
I am. He was
Oh,
naughty.
Roger.
Yeah, they had him almost 3. Wow, it was 3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember when he was baby Roger and would cuddle on your shoulder, Joe.
Yeah, we used to do chats and he'd be in the chat with us.
With his little head underneath her neck and telling us to F off. It was good times.
Do you expect anything different from a pet that Joe would have?
No.
Carol,
Not with her.
What?
What are you eating?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
My husband brought it in, and I couldn't be like, "No, I'm sewing." Instead, I'm like, "Oh,
Yum, 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 yum. Totally get that.
I thought it was like rice or something, and I'm like, that's an interesting way to eat.
Hey, she's traveled a lot. Maybe she's, it's some way she learned to eat it from some other culture. You don't know.
No, I don't do it the Indian way."
So
I don't know that I would. All right, this is probably going to be. I don't know that I would do well in India because I was watching Anthony Bourdain one day and he was in India. And so they're sitting outside eating and there's flies everywhere landing on the food. And they're just push them away and just keep going. No. I don't do well with flies.
Yeah, but I think if that's all you know,
Yeah.
it's the norm.
Well, I'm just saying if I would not travel there and eat outside. Don't.
Wouldn't be eating burgers either.
No, I don't like flies.
Well, I mean, they don't eat cows, so there would be no
Yeah.
thing like that.
Yeah. But so what's anybody got any cool knitting or crochet or weaving or fiber or any other kind of plans coming up?
I want to weave.
I might finish one of my shawls.
Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, you want me to show it? Okay.
No, just tell us and then go.
No, I have it over in the other room. Let me go grab it. I don't mind getting up.
Okay.
Okay. It's show and tell.
Yeah. I don't have a lot more to show and tell. I got the rest of those little bags. And because Fate's Threads went out of business 2 weeks ago, I guess. And her last day was buy one, get four free. So
That's insanity.
it was. And they're just little bags, but it, for the price of one. I swear the flies in the Middle East are a different species. I was there, we had an attack fly that would come straight for your.
Nope. Nope.
Ugh.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, not a fan.
I will not be going there.
Ooh,
That's not the only
that
one.
is so pretty. I
Ooh.
love how the colors are striping.
I don't know why I wanted to use sock yarn. I think I just like to suffer. But yeah. So it's a work in progress, but I'm committed now.
It's very pretty.
Thank you. I can't
It's
wait
very
to be done
pretty.
with it and never do sock yarn again.
Well,
Not like that. Not like this.
what size hook were you using?
3.5?
Yeah, so you can do sock yarn. You just use bigger hooks.
Yeah.
Neil, racist against flies. Oh, this one's for you, Therese.
What? It's project bags with your stash. Yeah, I used to sew project bags. In fact, this one I have this is one I did. It's got sock monkeys.
Ooh, that's adorable.
Yeah. Most of my stash of fabric is garment fabric, which I need to make garments this winter, but I have to excavate the room. That's going to be a project. I need to remove everything from the room and then put it back in.
Ah.
And I also have to remove the table that's in there. I have a 6-foot table, and I really need a 4-foot table because the 6-foot table takes up too much room. First world problems.
No, it makes sense. I had 2 tables. One was a 2 by 6 foot, I think, that my son had taken and used and done some of his painting on, so it was kind of covered in his Warhammer paint. So I gladly sent that home with him the other day. I'm like, you need this for your party. Please take it. And he took my little 4x4 table with him, but I hope I get that one back. But
yeah, so the only time I need it is for laying out fabric and patterns, to cut them out. Otherwise, all they do is just collect things.
Then what you need is a table that you can just open and fold.
Well, that's what this is. It's a folding table. It's one of those, the plastic cafeteria tables or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't need it all the time.
Right.
Because like I said, it just collects things. It's on the list of things to do.
Yeah. I just had to order a new Swift because mine broke.
Oh, no.
And so I decided not to get a cheap Chinese-made one this time.
No Temu?
And spend a little bit. No, it wasn't Temu. It was from Amazon, but it's basically the same thing. And I had one like this before for years, and I broke it. Like, it didn't break on its own. I actually pushed something too hard and broke it and couldn't fix it. And they had a similar one on Amazon. I'm like, okay, well, this will be fine. And it wasn't fine, and it broke like the first time. So I'm going to send that one back, but I ordered one from the Woolery or Revolution Fibers, one or the other. They have the same one, but it has almost no moving parts. It's like a big triangle type thing that sits on a cross that you just put the yarn down over the top. You don't have to worry about it fitting.
It's an Amish one? Is that what it's called?
No, it's not like the Amish one. It's kind of like the Amish one, but you don't have to worry about pegs or anything.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about. I hope it was from Revolution.
It was from Revolution. They had it at the Woolery, but I heard things about the Woolery, and I'd seen it there first, but I didn't buy it from there because also they were going to charge me like $50 to ship it, and quite frankly, I thought that was
outrageous.
Yeah. And so
I'm not happy with the Woolery.
I've heard things about them that make me, and I could remember exactly what it was, but I knew I shouldn't buy from them. And then once I saw the shipping price, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I shouldn't. One of the reasons. This is the one I got. If you can see.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
good.
yeah, it's pretty much like an Amish one, but you don't have to worry about putting the pegs in for the different sizes. Because I have one of those, but I keep getting I have skeins of yarn that don't fit any of the pegs sizes, and then it wobbles. So I figure this one is pretty hard to mess up. So Caro, do you have anything exciting happening besides cosplay stuff?
Honestly, everything I have going on is behind an NDA.
Ah,
So, but
Not even-
I'll be going to the meetup in San Antonio. I'll be
oh,
there.
nice.
Maybe I'll tell Gary, be like, "Yo, my friend won your prize. Like, can you like sign something?"
That would be awesome because I
want
love those
to bring
guys.
back an alpaca from Peru.
I know.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, that would be a little hard, but if anyone could do it, he could.
Smuggle it. Have Garrett do it.
Tell him he discovered it. It's his emotional support alpaca.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I should do that. I'll be like, the knitting community wanted an emotional support paca. I don't know who keeps it, but they wanted you to bring it.
I would keep it.
Joe, either that or Joe could. She already has sheep. Might as well
Yeah.
throw an alpaca in there too. But then we couldn't visit it, so you'd have to find a
Right.
place in your backyard, maybe.
Yeah. I got a spot.
Sure your neighbors would totally be fine
Oh,
with it.
sure. It's just a big dog. It's a very big dog that hums.
There you go. And spits. Do alpacas spit? I know
Yeah.
llamas spit.
When they get stressed, they do.
Yeah, I guess
But-
I'm going to SpaceCon and the meetup, and I guess that's my exciting stuff. But I guess because it's like I'm going for work, it's kind I don't know like if it's quite the exciting thing. It's more like I need to make money. Need to make money.
Fair enough.
My
Fair
stuff.
enough.
My stuff, please. Money. Yeah. I have money. I have comic.
Yeah, well, that totally makes sense. And then maybe someday you'll get the chance to write your yarn murder story.
Maybe I haven't forgotten it. I have not.
Because you
I've
know we're
been,
all about the murder.
Yeah, I've been editing some stuff for folks, so it's been eating up my free time a little bit.
Editors are worth their weight in gold.
I try to be. Oh my goodness, like
My friend, my daughter's best friend, just got a new editor for her first book, and she's very excited because she was picked up. She was sought out by some publishing studio. I don't know who.
Yeah.
So she's very excited.
Yeah, good editors are like good men. They're hard to find.
That is true. Don't look for them on TikTok. Just saying.
Like me on TikTok.
TikTok is crazy. It's like really insane. Some of the things people put on TikTok. Some of it's hilarious, and some of it's like you shouldn't air all your dirty laundry out in public,
Right.
especially stuff that makes you look bad, and then wonder why companies don't want to hire you.
Did you guys
know-
see the Did you guys see the one about the end of like the educator who was upset because the students wouldn't talk about their memories?
No, but I haven't seen it, but I heard somebody talking about it.
Yeah, it was somebody who made life choices from one pronoun to another pronoun, and they were upset because their students who are in kindergarten, just want to point that out, basically weren't talking about their development. And I was like, why would that matter to them? Like,
Right. Plus they're 5.
yeah.
And that screams red flags like
Mm-hmm.
nobody's business, because who would want 5-year-olds to talk about that sort of thing?
I mean, thank you for identifying yourself as a crazy person. Like, I like to have
Right.
that. You know, it's really nice when I don't have to actually like try and figure it out. If you just
Right.
tell me, I really appreciate it. It saves me so much time.
Yeah. Did you see that one with a flight attendant who was going for a flight attendant job, and like the one thing they told her to bring was her passport, and she didn't bring her passport, and they still even offered to do another interview with her, but she got all pissed that they wouldn't do her interview for something, ridiculous about her passport. So she went online and did this whole thing about how bad the airline was. It's like, and how she'll get a job with a better airline. Do you honestly think any other airline is going to hire you now? Because you made a dang fool of yourself. Like, do people not realize that once you put stuff out there, people see it? Like, it's like the cognitive dissonance of, I want followers, to, oh my God, the future business watched my video and saw what I said. It's ridiculous. Like, they have no concept that people are going to see what you do, even though they're putting stuff out there for people to see what they do. I don't know. It's just insane.
I think my TikTok, I have it curated pretty much. My algorithm just shows me stuff that, is not crazy. So that's good.
I'm not
That
on
is always
TikTok,
good.
so
I'm not either.
I'm barely
But
on Twitter.
But some people put their TikToks on YouTube also, and I get them in the shorts.
Yeah.
And some of them are hilarious. There's some Harry Potter ones that are hilarious.
I found one. I think somebody took the TikTok and they put it on YouTube, but it was like a parent's response to Supernatural YA, right? And it was basically like this dad who was like on the phone with the school. It's like, hey, about this permission form.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
There's a whole series of him.
Yeah, I love it. He's like, this thing about the Forbidden Forest, like, why are we taking children into the Forbidden Forest? Like, the title seems kind of ominous. It's like, because there's monsters there. So why are the children going into the Forbidden? Like, and he's like, okay, I can't sign this.
Yeah, he's trying to be the supportive dad to all this stuff, but they're ridiculous. So why is Brad's blood in my freezer?
Like, I want to put ice cream in the freezer now. I can't. There's blood here.
Like, no, I'm not racist against vampires, but it's my freezer.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys should go find it. It's so good.
Yeah, and he's all the ones he's talking to his kids, and no, we can't do that. I'm sorry, we can't get you a new broom that your brother broke because it's like $2,000, and you're just gonna have to wait. But yeah,
I'm sorry
some people
that
are really
I'm
creative.
alive. I'm sorry you can't be the chosen one because I'm alive. I know it's really hard, but at least your parents are here.
I know. And then he's explaining to his wife why the daughter's upset because they're not dead. It's kind of true, though. Pretty much in almost every chosen one, they're orphans.
If I were to search for this, what should I search?
I'll just give it to you.
Yeah. On YouTube, I think it's Dad Fantasy.
The Dad Who Lived.
Yeah.
Dad Who Lived. Oh, okay. Huh.
I can't put it in the chat here.
Oh, that's okay. I'll look for it. The Dad Who Lived.
No, I haven't. No, I mean, I can't put it in the main chat, but I put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
My TikTok's not on here, though. But it's on YouTube. All right. I'll look for it.
Aw. Roger was special.
He was.
We only met him a few times on videos, but he was a hoot. And
Poor Roger.
Joe's got other animals now still.
Yeah.
Lots of other animals that randomly show up at her house.
Plus the ones that live on the outside of her house that we don't necessarily care about.
Yeah, the deadly ones.
The deadly ones. They're a little scary.
Not big fans of them.
Mm-mm.
And though I got to admit, compared to them, Morgan's spiders are just fine.
They're fine right where they are.
Dim Sim, the Budger jar is going strong. I have no idea what that means.
Is that's a parakeet?
Oh, maybe. Oh, the Budger. Oh, Budgie is. Oh, okay.
It's a parakeet.
Oh, okay.
Dim Sim.
Forgot about that.
Dim Sim. That's interesting.
don't know. See, Neil needs to get his cats to be more exciting and then put him on.
Yeah.
You know, because all they do is walk around in front of the camera without
They're
doing
too damn
anything.
ugly.
They really are.
Stupid cats. Imagine that being the flex that you think it is. Your cats are ugly.
Yeah, I mean, really? He's a blue budgie. Okay, Joe.
He's blue.
Yeah, I mean that's the insult. I mean, he gets hit, he gets nailed with a lot of insults, but that one was just so ridiculous. Like that's like toddler level.
Yeah.
I don't like you,
Yeah.
and your cats are
And
ugly.
your cats are ugly too.
People will reach for like anything to try and like tear another person down.
Yeah.
I was like long story short, somebody showed me a photo and so I was trying to like find the validity of it because I wasn't sure if it was taken out of context or not. And I ended up finding like a subreddit of interesting people that don't like my workplace. I didn't know it was a
Oh.
thing, but now I know it's a thing.
I'm sure.
There was a
I'm
whole
sure.
conversation about me and how I was like a mentally unstable person and I needed to be taken away from the internet and put into a padded room. And I was like, I've never talked to you before. Like, how can you say that? Like, are you looking at my Twitter when I'm kind of like talking about like how nice it is outside and showing pictures of my dog? Like,
You weirdo.
Um,
What's wrong with you?
I don't think the words mentally unstable mean what they think they do.
yeah, I was kind of, and what was really funny is that they were citing the time that I was identifying as non-binary. Did I tell you guys that story?
No.
No.
Oh, do you want?
Oh, I think yes. Please tell us.
Okay, so like the long short of it is like a couple of years ago, there was this interesting person who said that if my job place did not hire a non-binary person, we should be sued. And so according to the rules of pronoun, I then identified as a non-binary person and I thought, hey, problem solved. I even put it in my bio. I thought that was official, right? And then like most other people who are rational, I forgot I did it, right? Because it didn't matter to me. So I went off like doing my own merry way and had completely forgotten about it until my boss made a video about how he doesn't like DEI practices, right? So everybody immediately went to all the employee accounts for work and found my thing where I said the non-binary hire for Ripperverse, right? Right. And so they're like, you're a fucking liar because look at what they're identifying as and stuff like that. And so then I had to go find the original tweet and put it there and say like, this is the joke.
These people
So-
don't have senses of humor.
No. And so like I
No.
thought the hashtag was evident enough, but I guess it wasn't. And so then one person was like, well, you can't identify as non-binary because you're a blah blah blah. And I was like, you're right, but you're also wrong because I can do whatever I want. I can become a tree. Here we go. I'm a tree, right? But then after that, I was like, you know what, since the public gets to decide what I identify as, I put up a poll and I was like, okay, guys, like it's up to you. Like, what do I get to identify as? Because I'm apparently not allowed to decide. So I had she, her, and they, them, and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I had muscle mommy on the bottom, right? So muscle mommy won, right? So muscle mommy is what I identify as, and my pronouns are lift and gains. And I think everybody wins. So. And that was the story of how I became non-binary, forgot about it.
Whatever happened to their whole spiel that each person has to be their true self? You know, I mean, weren't you being your true self at that moment? You
Yeah,
felt like
well-
identifying
Yeah.
just to screw with people. You were
Yeah.
being your true self, so
I
they
was.
should just.
I also identify as a troll, but you know, I can't fit that all. I don't know what the pronouns for trolls are. Does anybody, you know what? Let's fuck it. Let's look.
The sad
take
thing
a
is,
look.
you'll probably find out. And
I
that's
know.
what's
So
scary.
now we're going to find out. We're all learning something together, my friends. Let's go.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Joe says we need a bingo card for what animal turns up at the farm next.
Next.
Neil, you need to make one up when you're done with the cover. Only because he can draw and the rest of us can't. So, troll pronouns.
Troll pronouns.
But would you identify as an actual troll or as an internet troll? And if so, would the pronouns be different?
My favorite thing is when I said I identify as a troll and then Google filled it in with what are my pronouns. So this is so far, we're on the right track. Okay, we're doing good.
Wow.
Pronoun for Tros, Gary. Yeah, Joe, scary, but not unsurprising in this world we live in.
The internet is silly. I Twitter is entertaining today because the
Is
left
it?
is just melting down. You do know he doesn't actually work at McDonald's, don't you? Like, yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, I know Camilla. I know Kamala didn't work there either.
And then somebody said, well, in this economy, he's got to get a second job.
Hey, I think, the people who own that McDonald's are perfectly happy for him to come run their drive-through. So, you know what? They don't like it. Too bad. When I was watching the crazy video lady of who was going nuts, she's talking about the evil conspiracy, and one of the cop asked her, was Obama involved? And she said, no, I don't know about Obama, but it's evil. He goes, oh, so not Trump then. Okay, good.
Okay, there's no pronoun for it, but I'm learning some history right now, so stay tuned for just a second.
Isn't that discrimination?
Probably. Actually, I'm technically a troll because in Michigan, if you live, there's a bridge that goes from the lower peninsula to the upper peninsula, and if you live below the bridge, you're a troll.
Ah.
Which is most of Michigan.
I was going to say, that would be a good part of Michigan.
Yes.
Did you see Lizzo saying that Kamala was going to make the rest of America like Detroit?
I'm like, no!
I don't think that's the win you think
you don't want that.
It's like, I don't think that's the win you think it is.
Mm-mm.
And then she didn't even perform. Kamala was on stage for 6 minutes. Lizzo didn't even perform. All those people came to watch her perform, and she didn't even bother. And then she said something to the people outside about they couldn't even spell democracy.
Okay.
But, between that and Waltz
Okay.
getting more bizarre by the day. And his wife is just bizarre.
She's in the job too.
Okay, so in my research, there is no actual pronoun for troll. So I thought we would have fun and we would make it, right? We're pioneers here. We're outside of the box thinkers. So in my research, troll originally came from Scandinavia, right? For the Norse mythology and stuff like that. So I went and researched some Scandinavian insults that could work as pronouns, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. So that first one, don't ask me how to pronounce these, by the way. I just can't. But so like that first one is donkey or ass, right? So you're an idiot donkey, right? And then that second one on there it's also named for hot cocoa, but it also means stupid, right? So it's two different ways to say an idiot. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Okay.
So
if anybody wants to identify as a troll, here's your pronouns. And
I'm helping. See? Sparkle, sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle.
Go.
We might need a troll colorway, I'm just saying.
Well, so they're under bridges, right? So it would be like brown and gray.
True?
Yeah. Cover in mud. Eats the poor goats. Those poor goats, they didn't deserve to be eaten.
I know. But they were rough, though, so.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Sitting here crossing some bridge that's not theirs to eat grass they didn't pay for. Ugh, man, I can't blame them. Bit of goat gruff.
Yeah, I mean, they got to have situational awareness. Just saying.
Yeah. Thank you all for humoring me. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
We are educational.
Donkey troll. Donkey troll. Okay, Joe.
That's what you need, Joe. You need a donkey.
Just don't keep your dogs around it. They're really big on. Well, at least so like my farmer family, they had donkeys to keep like the coyotes and the foxes away, but they'd also kill dogs too. So it was kind of like you gotta pick one or the other. Which one do you want?
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, that's That's no good. What was I going to say now? I don't remember. I did read a thing about Tolkien and how he was very critical of Shakespeare because he thought in Macbeth how the trees were used was just a shabby, wasteful way of making trees move. So that when he wrote the Ents, it was to write it better than Shakespeare, who didn't have actual moving trees. He did. So you got to love authors who create characters and then base them on their best friend, C.S. Lewis, because Tolkien said that not listening to a lecture by Lewis was like listening to Treebeard. So, gotta love those authors from back in the day who had fun with each other.
Sure.
And since now they're wrecking his stories on their stupid Amazon show.
Oh, they're wrecking everything. Like the creative bankruptcy that's going on in the media is really like it's bad. And I don't think I need to harp on that because we all listen to the same commentary. So
yeah, there's and the shows that they're remaking and the movies that they're remaking. It's like, really, do we really need a sequel to something like that, or do we really need to reboot that? I mean, I understand why because it makes money, but it's like.
It's more like, did anybody ask? Like, who asked for this? Like, did you do a poll? And they're all like, yeah, totally redo the movie from 10 years ago. Do it again. Go.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter's not even 30 years old and they're already redoing them. Like, seriously? Why don't you find some new material?
Because they don't have any creativity. They're so busy checking all the boxes in their heads to make sure they say all the right things and do all the right things and self-edit, and there's no creativity left.
Yeah, I don't know. Some things give me hope, like could be good, but then some things are just like the idea is just really bad. And like, did anybody really ask for a Freaky Friday reboot?
No.
Like they keep saying highly anticipated. Anticipated by who? Like,
Me.
I don't understand who wanted it to begin with.
Me.
Like there's like 50 different versions of that same scenario. Why do we need another one?
There was I can't remember the acronym for the kind of game it is. I think it's MOBA. But I worked at a game company for a little while, and the owner wanted to make what's called a MOBA game. So the long and short of it is it's like League of Legends, where you run around a map as a character and like kill people, right? And so he told me that's what he wanted to do, and I was like, why would you do that? And he's like, oh man, the games are so great, like blah blah blah. It's like I understand that you really enjoy this kind of game, but you're going up against League of Legends and Overwatch, like you're not going to win.
And all the others, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to work. And he was like, oh no, see, like me and my friends, like we think this is a great idea. It's like, well, that's really great that you and your friends, like, you know what, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to do market research, right? And so I did market research. I compiled a 20-page report of how doing a MOBA was a bad idea, right? And he was like, thanks for the intel. I'll take it into consideration, and completely ignored me, right? So my feelings were like a little hurt. I was like, okay, you know, you're the boss. You can do whatever you want and throw your money at wherever you want it. It's not my job as long as you pay me, right? So he went to this conference where he talked about how he was going to make a MOBA game, and he was talking to the panelists, and they laughed at him, and they were like, why would you waste your money? Nobody's going to play it, right? And then he was like, okay, maybe we shouldn't make a MOBA game. And I was sitting here like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's like, I saw they're making a live action Voltron movie, which I don't know if it's the Voltron of the 80s. I might enjoy it, but probably not because it'll probably be woke. And a bunch of other 80s cartoons they're making live action. It's like, really, why?
it has to do with not wanting to take risks. They're right now doing damage control because of all the money that they've lost by poorly spending and other what I would like to refer to as money laundering tactics. But because they don't want, and the thing is, like, the only time that they're willing to take a chance on something is because an indie person has gone ahead and pioneered it and been successful at it, right?
Right.
So a good example is actually going to be Webtoons. So Webtoons, has a whole bunch of comics on there, like just tons, right? And only a couple get pushed to the top, and only like maybe 1% of those gets picked up by publishers. So like the big one that everybody might recognize because it was like slapped on posters everywhere is Lore Olympus, which, I can't really talk too much shit about it because I actually like it. So when they came out with the hardcover, I bought it, right? Because I really liked it. It was good. But they promoted the hell out of this book, but nobody else. And then now they're starting to kind of pick up on others, but what they're doing is they're seeing who's reading it, how fast are these readers coming in to read it, and that's kind of how they're doing their market research. But the thing is, like, this was one person, right? And this lady didn't just like decide to make a comic one day and it got super popular. She did it for like 3 years, right? So she was posting one woman show for 3 years until somebody was like, I guess you're kind of popular. Maybe we can help you, right? And, she's in a comfortable place right now, and this whole story is completely done. But nobody wanted to give it a chance until they saw that they could make money off of it.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of where that's at.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just the way they talk about, like, we've been waiting with bated breath for 30 years for these remakes, and it's like,
No,
no one has.
No.
Like, really, I could pass on it. Seriously. Do we need another Wuthering Heights?
No.
I mean, the Laurence Olivier one's kind of good. Just re-release that one and call it a day. We don't need to remake good things.
Yeah, but then, like, how am I going to make money off of the same stuff that I've been making for 50 years? I should do it again. And we should do a TV special and change the cast to something completely different just to spice it up.
Yeah. I mean, they probably won't even film it on any moors or anything. Probably film it in a city and make Heathcliff a investment banker or something, and crazy like that.
I'm watching the creative process.
I'm using the camera as a mirror. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, how does this look? This seems to look okay. So I'm trying to figure out where to put these Velcro straps at so that way I can pull it on and off.
Sorry, I'm picking up stitches.
Counting.
I agree. There are plenty of really good books out there. Sorry, I was reading the comments that people just aren't paying attention to. Maybe it's because they don't want to give that person royalties. Maybe they're just kind of like, oh man, vampires are still in. We should stick with vampires, which is actually not true. They, for some reason, and I don't understand this. Well, no, I do understand it. It's because they're not talking to the general audience. But everybody keeps telling me that vampires are out, right? It's like nobody likes vampires. And I'm like, bitch, I just went to the bookstore and like all the books that are getting bought in the urban fantasy romance section have vampires and werewolves. So at what point, like, are you telling me werewolves or vampires are out? I'm like, no, you don't understand. They're out. And I was like, I am in the store. I am watching women pick up the book right now. Like, crazy people.
Yeah, and things can go in and out of style, and that's fine. But to not pay attention what people are actually reading just blows my mind.
And I love how they're kind of trying to act like the TikTokers, I don't know, book talk or something. Like, I don't know what it's called. I try not to pay attention to it. But those books, those gifted ladies are writing those kind of books. And I read like 2 of them because I was trying to understand the hype. And it was really just a whole bunch of like, here's 5% plot and then the rest of it was sex. Right. And and they were trying to say like, no, it's just a contemporary romance. And I was like, it's an erotica. Like the amount of, like, take the sex out. I don't think you have a plot. What was it? I think it was called Break the Ice or something like that. It was like a figure skater and a hockey player. And it wasn't just like any typical one. Like one was like captain of the hockey team, and the other, I don't know what was up with the girl. I forgot. Like I read it and I forgot about it. That's how memorable it was to me. Right. But yeah, I think if I took the sex out of that book, it's probably like I'm guesstimating. I could be wrong. I think the book is like 120,000 words long. Don't ask me how many pages that is because it doesn't matter. But if you took out all the sex, I think that book would probably have ended up being 50,000 words. So it's like, you know,
It's called a novella.
Yeah, people are just, I don't know. There are good books out there, and I've read some bad books, but bad books based on a good idea or a unique idea where, you know, some parts of it might be okay, so you go ahead and read it and you're a bit entertained because it's something you've never read before or it's a new take on something. And it's just like, well, if they'd only no, sorry, that was my phone. I had a spam call. You know, if only they'd had a good editor who could have helped them, you know, make it a better written book, it could be successful. But unfortunately, there's a lot of books out there that are really crappy.
Yeah.
And they're just copies of other books out there that are really crappy. Like a lot. So, but I still don't think we need another Wuthering Heights movie.
No.
I'm just saying. Just my opinion. Don't come for me.
They'll make it like an urban thing.
Yeah. Okay.
From Detroit.
Okay. Well, you know, I think there's some really talented people out there who are never going to have their work seen. And that's just the nature of it, because I've met tons of artists who are incredibly talented people who are never going to make it big because they just don't have, they're not in the right place at the right time, or the right person hasn't seen their work, or they haven't gotten the right funding or the right, you know, support. And it's unfortunate, but it's just how it is.
didn't have the right political view. Like, don't get me started on romance because it's such a left dominated field, right? Like if you're anywhere on the right, they immediately like just shove you into a corner. Like you don't exist. You don't happen here.
Yep. And I don't know, it's crazy.
How does that look? That looks good.
It does.
There you go.
Better fitted than a lot of what I've seen people do.
Yeah, don't mind me as I slap my armored tits in front of y'all.
Could
You
be
know, we're
worse.
just one of those kind of podcasts, you know.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
You never know what's gonna happen. We save babies, we talk about sex, all kinds of things happen here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, Wuthering Heights is hard to read while eating popcorn with one hand. Wuthering Heights is hard to read, period. There's nobody likable in the entire book. Everyone is very unlikable. Like, I don't know, but
Here we go. Okay. Sorry, don't mind me, guys. I'm just using you like a mirror. Badly. Because, like, in the show, they have it kind of, like, separated, so... Okay. Alright, so...
there you go.
Now I'm going to sew it into place. And hopefully, it will stick.
Well,
When is this soiree?
Wednesday night, and then
Oh.
I'll be at the convention Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
This
Sunday.
Wednesday. Ooh.
Yeah, a little urgent. Be like, I gotta get it done, guys. Gotta get it done.
hey, you're doing a very nice job,
You are.
and I can
Hi.
say that because
November something.
I've seen some really bad cosplay too. So
Mm-hmm.
I have as well. I've seen some interesting choices made by adults in cosplay. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be them.
my niece and daughter and my other niece did some interesting choices one year, but they enjoyed it, and people actually took pictures of them, so they thought that was fun. And that's how my niece met her partner. So they were both cosplaying the same character.
Oh.
So that was kind of cool. But yeah, we went to the anime convention here last spring, and 99% of the people were One Piece. And it was, some were really good, some were really bad. Some were adults who were showing way too much skin. And I'm not a prude, but some people shouldn't be showing that much skin. Just saying. And undergarments are a thing.
I appreciate the confidence, but not the display.
Yeah, pretty much that. This one woman really should have thought of some, maybe not armor over her boobs, but a support bra would have been nice, because
Oh.
she wasn't wearing one at all, and she was massive, and her top was cut down like really low, and she kept jumping up and down, and because she was excited about some anime thing, and you could see some parents with kids were just like pulling their kids.
It's like a People of Walmart thing.
Yeah. I mean, and there's some people who go all out and do amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with all the makeup and the hair and everything and
Mm-hmm.
the costumes. And it's really cool. And then, you know, there's some that don't. But it's eye-opening for sure.
The last one I went to, there was a furry, and he made his furry hat out of Legos.
It's not very furry, but whatever.
No, you know, but like he was kind of acting like a cat in front of me, so I was giving away bookmarks, and so I started like doing like the cat thing in front of it.
Yeah, there were a few furries there too. I tend to try to block them out because
I was just
Really?
respecting their choices. I thought that was the right thing to do.
Well, I think it's also different if they're at a con or if they're on the street somewhere. It might be.
or they're that Japanese guy who spent $15,000 so he could be a border collie.
What?
Oh yeah, he had this incredible real to life collie costume because he
Mhm.
wants to be a dog, and he goes out in it and he walks on all four in this, and
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
now he wants to be other animals too. But
What? Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
No, stop it.
it's like, really, dude,
So he hasn't
Ki-
gotten any mental health.
kind of understanding why he doesn't have a girlfriend, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Mom, here's my boyfriend. No. It's okay. You can throw the ball from he'll bring it back.
You don't have to keep that one, dear. It's okay. You can throw it back. No, nobody will be upset with you.
Yeah, like, well, I guess, you know, he's in Japan or Korea, one of those countries. You'd think they would have, you know, done some mental tests on him, but
They would have shamed him. That's what they would.
Yeah. that too.
Bring back shaming.
You know, sometimes shaming works. Is there a word for someone who is disloyal to his persona? I don't know. He just wants someone to sniff his butt, probably, Joe. More than likely. But he takes it very seriously. Like, he'll sit for hours in the costume and stuff. There's been several interviews with him over the years. And
You know, I'm happy for him. You know, he's on a journey for attention.
Mm-hmm.
well, you know, he's better than those people who say that they're married to ragdolls and have
I don't know.
ragdoll children.
Listen, I don't know if there's a tier for that kind of pathetic. I think it's all just kind of like in the same bucket. Okay.
Like
Well,
the,
I don't know.
Like the dudes that
Like-
think they're babies. Yeah.
Yeah, claiming, you know, that your ragdoll wife had a child, and here comes the new Raggedy Andy doll. Here you go.
You know, in the old
Oh,
days, we
crazy.
would have reached out to these people and been like, "Do you need help? Like, is something going on? Can we help you?
No,
You got a lot
No,
going on
they,
there, friend."
Yeah, you need to sit somewhere for 72 to 96 hours.
sounds like you need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Not bark at, talk to.
Words.
Yeah.
Use words.
Sounds sweaty. Yeah, I would think the guy would be dying in the suit
Yeah.
too. But people commit themselves to their art, and you know, Is that any different than an Olympic gymnast who, works out? I don't know. In his mind, maybe not. Maybe his commitment to learning how to walk just like a dog is his, thing.
I really appreciate that comparison. Thank you.
Sorry. I
It's
just,
okay.
I'm trying to be good.
You're
Thought
kind.
you were trying to be kind.
I'm
not,
sitting here already to like shame these fuckers into oblivion. You're
No,
like,
no.
no,
Me
they're
too.
trying really hard though. Like, look, like
No.
he's in a first, he's sweating and dehydrating.
But it's his choice. So, and as my husband reminds me, it's one thing to keep children from doing crazy or dangerous things, but adults, if they want to take on Darwin, that's entirely
Yep.
their choice. And a lot of times Darwin wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched this court video today, and the guy had gotten in a road rage incident where he shot at another car.
Hmm.
And, they're doing the whole thing. Well, Judge, he's such a good father. He's been raising his daughter, and he's a great husband. He's just perfect. And then the prosecutor asks the wife, who's extolling his virtues. So the domestic violence charge he had a few years ago, weren't you the victim? Yes. So was he a perfect husband when he was choking you out?
Savage.
And she's like, that was a specific incident, and he's a different person now.
Things
Okay.
have changed.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, and then find out the guy, because it was domestic violence, he's not allowed to own weapons, and yet he had a gun in his car, and he was shooting at another car with his child in the car. It's like,
He's totally changed.
and he's totally thinking he's going to get probation. And
Man, I love the legal system. It does absolutely nothing.
well, he went to jail. He went to
That
jail the
time.
first time too, but his wife stuck by him, which that was her choice.
Yeah.
But he went to jail again this time, and he was totally shocked that his story and his wife talking about how wonderful father and dad he was did not get him off. And he's
character
just looking.
witnesses only go so far.
Yeah, and some of them help, some of them do not, and this one did not, for sure.
Well, I'm glad the judge didn't let him just walk.
Oh no, she gave him the full 8 or whatever years that they were the maximum in his plea bargain. He was, not thrilled.
Because I'm just about done with these activist judges.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the prosecutors make these deals, and
Mm-hmm.
unless the judge really wants to stand up to them, a lot of them just will go with what the prosecutors do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I watched one that was a child involved case, and I think it was like 6 years or whatever, and the judge is like, why? Or 15 years, and the judge is like, why would I take this case? Why would I take this plea? This is not a 15-year plea. This is a life plea.
Mm-hmm.
And the prosecutor's like, well, we didn't want to have to bring the 6-year-old in to testify and re-traumatize her, and the mom just wanted to get it over with. And the judge is like, I get that, but no, I'm not taking his plea. I'll give him 20 years, but I'm not taking a 15-year plea. And then he went and tried to get the judge kicked off the case. And I think he did get her kicked off the case and demanded a jury trial. And the jury trial ended up giving him more than 20 years. So, but.
Good job, Piers. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Good thing I caught that. Holy shit.
Rip a cape, Anne says.
Yep, that's what I'm making. She got a sharp eye.
Well.
This will be easier than attaching Velcro titties to myself. In theory. We'll find out.
That's not something you say every day.
Oh,
Hey, you
What
know
are you
what?
doing? I'll be back. I've got to go attach
go
my
attach
Velcro
some-
titties.
I'm gonna attach my Velcro titties. Hold on now. At least I'm admitting that they're fake.
Well, you could be empowered and get more if you wanted. It's the, feminist way, get all the
modern
surgery and everything as you want.
Yeah, modern society really wants me to hate myself and cut them off and say I'm somebody else, but I just don't feel like it. I kind of like what I have. I'm gonna stick with it.
I totally get that.
I also
And
have
it's-
spent a lot of time staring at that logo.
And never had the desire to cut them off.
No,
Yeah.
it's on the window. So like she's talking about the Rippaverse logo, and so like in my office I have a window, and the window has the logo right on it. So like as the sun like moves across, like the logo like slowly makes its way across my wall.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like the bat signal.
Yeah.
Got your own internal advertising.
Yeah, when it comes over my head, I know it's time to go home. It's time for me to leave. I should go.
Sorry, the sun god has spoken. I
Yeah,
must leave.
That's right. Who needs a watch?
I don't need one. It's like, oh, I can see outside. I should go home now.
Nope, sorry, can't stay. The logo has spoken.
Yeah.
Logo. Spoken.
Soon the sun shall never set on the Rippaverse Empire. Aw, that's sweet, Anne.
I hope not. I kind of like having a job.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah.
All that popcorn you're eating, you've got to pay for it somehow.
It's delicious.
You know,
I love popcorn.
what would you make your armor for if you didn't have them as a job, you know?
Oh,
Right.
man. You're so right. Making a Rippalorian, man. It's been fun.
Rippalorian.
Yeah.
Don't
It
let
would-
Disney see.
I don't give a fuck. Come at me, bro. I don't care. I know you're friends. I'm not afraid of you. No, ma'am. Okay, the dog has spoken. Give me 1 second. She needs that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have to do one more row. And then I will be back to where I'm supposed to be. When you pull off in garter stitch and then you got to figure out where you were.
Mm.
It's all good. So, oh gosh, it's 5:30 already.
Yeah.
It gets dark early now, so it throws me off.
Yeah, we at my my volunteer thing that I do over at church, they were kind of like, it's getting dark out. And I was like, yeah, it sure is. Like, can we meet sooner? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do. Like, look, I'm
Not
just here
safe
for
after
you.
dark.
I hope we would be safe at church.
You hope so.
I hope so, yeah. I'm not countering it. It's just more like, man, that'd be nice if I was.
Unfortunately, there's crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You could go to McDonald's and see if Trump's at the free throw.
If he's working a shift tonight.
Is he still serving fries?
That was
I
so
don't know.
entertaining to watch him work that fry machine.
Our friend Pirate sent a meme about him fixing the ice cream maker, the ice cream machine.
Yeah.
But-
Alyssa and I
You
were
know,
memes back and forth today.
well, evidently, what's her name? I can't even remember. Was in Vegas at a rally at one of the local high schools and had to bus people in because
Mm-hmm.
only the crazies showed up for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ones who are going to support her no matter what. She could kill somebody on stage and they'd still support her because she's not Trump.
Man, did you guys see that one thing that she said? I can't remember where she was, but like somebody had yelled out like Jesus and Lord, and she was kind of like, "You're at the wrong rally," and I was like, "No, that's not what you say."
Nope.
I saw an interview with the two kids. They were college students and the rally was at their school.
Yeah.
So they went to see, and when she was talking about abortion, I guess there was a couple other things they had said too. And then when they said that, she pretty much,
No, she just got tired of it.
yeah, and then they were escorted out. But I guess evidently you can't be a Christian and be Democratic then.
Well, and then the next day she goes to a church, a black church, to
With her
pander.
fake accent.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know. I try
The
not
code
to.
switching.
What's up?
Yeah,
The code switching.
she switches her accent wherever she goes, just like Hillary used to. Remember Hillary with her hot sauce in her bag
Jesus.
to eat soul food?
Yeah, I guess. I think code switching's a
have hot
thing.
sauce in my bag, but
Because I kind of technically code switch when I talk to my Southern family, when I talk to my British family, but that's just because I want them to understand what I'm saying.
yeah.
I do when I talk to my Southern family, and when I worked in the gallery and we would get people in from the South, I would automatically, and I'd have to
Comes
tell
right
them, look,
back.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm from North
It just
Carolina.
comes back. Yeah.
It does, and
Well, the
It's-
worst one was when she was in Detroit and she had some kind, I don't even know what accent it was. And I'm like, nobody here talks like that. Nobody. It was some weird mismatch of voices.
well, it could be Waltz dancing around,
God. Prancing around.
something like that. What on earth made them
Clapping
think he
his
was
hands.
serious? Like he was a serious choice? Like, were they so self confident that she picked him above some of the more, like, I don't know, serious people?
Well,
Or is it just
Stan, nobody really wanted the job.
that too?
And she
That's
couldn't
what I figure.
Hero
Well,
from Pennsylvania
I mean-
because he's Jewish.
That's right.
Mm.
And I don't think he would have said yes anyway. He's not going to tie himself to that disaster.
I don't.
I mean, Clinton was out there campaigning for, saying, admitting, yeah, if the illegal immigrant criminals had been vetted, they wouldn't be killing people. Okay, you just made the case for it. Thanks, Bill. But I'm wondering if Bill's trying to sabotage her, because a lot of the things he said
I've heard
has
so
not been positive.
I mean, let's be honest. First off, Bill still continues to have, security around him all the time. He has that very nice pension. The man doesn't really have to worry about much, and every now and then they walk him out to like talk about politics, and so he does like his several speeches, and then he goes back home. Right?
Yeah,
He's got no pony in this race. Like they can't just take his money from him.
no.
I mean,
Well-
they could. I mean, you know what? If they did, I'd like them to do it with all the other senators who only do one term and then have a paycheck for the rest of their life. I'd really like that to go away.
Yeah, term limits is
term limits. is huge.
totally necessary.
Well, I guess I'm not talking about term limits. I'm talking about the fact that they basically wrote that even if they only do one term, they get like a
Get their
huge
pen-
salary for the rest of their
Yeah.
life, right? Like I didn't pay
Yeah.
for that.
No.
I know that's ridiculous. I always said they should get paid whatever the least member of the military gets paid. The least salary in the military should be what Congress gets paid, because then you'd only get people who were there for the right reasons.
I don't know. That one guy was there to make a sex video. I think he had plans.
God.
Yeah, well, that's true, but
Bro was ready. He had like a GoPro helmet. Like I want us to like appreciate like the thought he put into like doing this video. And he still works there, I think. I'm not sure if they like
Yeah, I think he does.
yeah.
Which, whatever.
yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Did I screw this up? I think I did.
Yeah, we've got Elon.
Oh, did you see
Elon's
that
entertaining.
He's taking on
He's on the team.
Uber right now. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's taking on. So he's got his self-driving cars that are going to pick up people to take them to destinations now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's coming for Uber, but I think that's good because Uber's been a little bit shady.
Well, Uber, they rent, people who Uber, they rent cars through Hertz, and they have a lot of Teslas, a lot of Teslas. So maybe he's just going to go another step further.
It's like I'll just make the car drive themselves, and then I don't have to worry about this extra fee that these drivers are taking.
Yeah, except the
Oh.
drivers don't get the extra fee.
yeah, and then the cars don't drive in the winter.
It's just like, well, exactly. It's just like DoorDash. Like, whatever you're paying for DoorDash, that driver's not getting it.
No, I know. Like I was talking to the Soska sisters because I asked them how they. I just assumed that everybody Ubers everywhere because I forgot about taxis, and she says that their airport has a law against Uber, so you can't actually get an Uber over at their airport. You have to get a taxi.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's different. I know you can Uber to ours.
Ours you can.
Yeah, you can Uber to ours too. I don't know if that's just like a Vancouver thing or what, but they're like, yeah, no, you can't get an Uber at our airport.
Oh, well, Canada.
Canada.
There you go, Joe. You can go to Canada and be a taxi there and make money
Mm-hmm.
instead of driving your kids for free.
Yeah, but don't drink sex on the beach while you're doing it.
And don't spill it either.
Is that a joke? Did she spill like her
She
drink
did
on- Okay.
when we
She
had
did.
our Friday show, because she was able to do it. She had a can of sex on the beach, and she spilled it.
Oh no, Joe.
It was sad. It was a sad day.
It was also hilarious.
That's funny.
But like, Joe, don't get pulled over on the way home because your car smells
Right.
like alcohol.
You guys have so
Yeah.
much fun.
We try. The one time when we had a Zoom chat years ago, she took us on a tour around her town
Yes.
Oh.
and took us into the different stores, and her friend told her friends about us and told her Amy and I were drunk, and we weren't drunk. We were just laughing at her. And yeah, it was fun. And
Yeah,
then
it was
Amy took us on a drive and through the drive-through daiquiri.
For daiquiris, yeah.
So we did that.
She knows
We
those
haven't had a field trip in a while.
We haven't gone on a field trip.
That's really cool though.
It was. And then there was the hurricane where Amy went and stayed with our friend Lorelai,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a chat then. Hey, there were patrol cars out everywhere. Well, we're glad you didn't get stopped. Your car probably smelled like sex on the beach. Well, officers, I was sitting in the park on my Wi-Fi knitting with my friends online from America.
I know this sounds strange, but just hear me out.
There's a point, really. So, I don't know. So Kara's got busy plans this week.
Yep.
I'll take pictures and I'll post them on Twitter. I love to
Yay.
tell people how much fun I'm having when I go to conventions, because it makes the people that say that I'm mentally unstable and should be in a padded room like start like throwing a tantrum. And you know, I shouldn't be encouraging that, but it kind of makes me feel good.
It's kind of it's a little satisfying.
Yeah, it's like, look, I'm having so much fun, and you're in your parents' basement.
On Reddit, yeah.
Yeah, I love the ones who psychoanalyze other people.
I'm kind of like, not to be weird, right? Like, I have a psychology degree, right? Like, the only thing that stopped me from actually having a practice is I didn't do the volunteer hours, which are like huge, and I get why they do it. But the one thing that they always tell us in psychology is that you don't diagnose people online because you're not actually looking or talking to a person. You're looking at a persona and a caricature, right? It's a persona, it's a caricature. It's not actually that person, right? So like literally like, and this isn't even like a, like, I don't know, like an 800 level concept. It's literally in like the 200 level course, right? They're kind of like, you don't diagnose people online because it's not really people. Mm-hmm. And they're weirdos. They're weird.
People on Reddit, Anne.
Yeah.
Imagine that. People on Reddit say bad things about people.
I know, it's
shocking.
Shocking. It's almost as if I don't know if this is actually possible, but I kind of remember vaguely thinking that they might have said something about Neil one time, maybe, possibly.
I really like how Reddit is kind of like, we don't do hate crime or hate speech, but then like a group like this like is out there and they're kind of like, yeah, these people are, you know, XYZ and they deserve to die and fuck them and blah, 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 blah. It's like, but what about this group? Like, why? Like, can somebody explain? What? Like, you took the skinny people hate and you put it to the top, but then you said the fat people hate has to go. Like,
yeah.
You should
We're
see
human.
the hitters on there.
Yeah.
They're vicious.
Yeah, the sad ones are the ones who are vicious. The ones who are vicious when they're not in the snark chats.
Right.
So I agree with some of the things they call out. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Some of the things they write about, and I do appreciate when they post about, you know, bad business practices with yarn dyers or designers.
Mhm.
That's a good thing. That's something that should be brought out into the open.
Yeah,
But when you just,
beware.
when you just go off on people because you disagree with something, so that they deserve to die, or they're not allowed to live or have a business or make money or support their families, that's a touch too far.
I
Like,
do like when somebody will snark about some designer or yarn doll or whatever, and then the blowback is like, wait, why are you bitching about that? That's not anything to bitch about. And I'm like, yes.
yeah, they started against Stephen West the other day because they do, and people pretty much shut it down really quickly, saying you don't have to like his patterns.
Right.
A lot of people don't like his style,
Right.
and that's okay, because I don't like a lot of pattern designers.
Like, if you're gonna dislike somebody, like, make it for a valid reason. Like, I saw them slap a kid. Like, wow, you're an asshole, right? It's kind of like, man, you made a pattern that I didn't think of. Fuck that guy. It's
this person was commenting about something about, oh, now it's an MCAL and they're going to be all the love for Stephen West, and it's ridiculous. His patterns are so over the top and crazy, but
No,
this
they're
one's
not.
boring. This one's boring, and people in the comments were like, "This seems like a you problem.
Yeah.
Like, you personally don't like it, and that's fine, but
that smells like rejection to me. Like, they tried to be close to this person and it didn't go quite the way they wanted, so they decided to about face. I've seen that a lot.
That, or they just wanted attention, so they picked a big designer who has a thing going on now that they could pick on.
You know what? It reminds me of middle school when there was like a popular song that everybody liked, and this one girl be like, "No, I hate the song." It's like, but why? It's like, because I just hate it. It's like, are you hating it because you actually don't like it, or because you just don't want to like it? Like, what was the one song? Happy by Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I had this lady that came in. She's like, I hate this song. And I was like, well, why do you hate it? She's like, a room without a roof. Like, that's so stupid. And I was like, it's a metaphor. She's like, no, it's dumb. I'm like, do you need help? Do you need a hug? Do you want to talk to me? Like, what's going on?
I like that song.
It's a great song. I liked it when they had like the 24-hour video for it. I thought that was fun.
That's the thing about art. People are going to love it or hate it. But it's like with a song, at least have your reasons. Oh, I don't like it because it's overplayed, or whatever. Not because it's just stupid. Okay. Can you be a little more specific?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing.
That's an acceptable answer. That actually sounds logical. I've heard it over and over again. I don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, cool.
I mean, back in the day, there'd be songs that would be playing all the time on the radio, and people would call into the radio station and tell them to stop.
Play something else. Here's a request. It's for my boyfriend. What's your boyfriend's name? His name is Jeremy. He hates these songs. Play something else.
And you'd have to sit by the radio and hope hearing that your request came through.
Mm-hmm. Here's a song for Jeremy, who's very tired of NSYNC. Here you go, buddy.
Well, for a while there was a lot of NSYNC on the radio.
There was a lot of NSYNC, and my girls were at that age when all the boy bands were out and all the Disney kids.
I remember when 98 Degrees came out, and I was like, oh man, they're gonna give NSYNC to run for their money, and then suddenly they like quietly disappeared, and I was like, where did they go?
Then it was just Backstreet Boys and NSYNC battling it out.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Like I don't know about you guys, but like 98 Degrees came out and they were hot, so I was ready to like watch any music video they were in, but then they're kind of like, no, you're too sexy, we got to tone it down because some of these kids are like middle school, and it's like, no, bring it back, it's okay. Let me discover myself.
I think too, a lot of it was because we learned we picked the music we liked and whatever, mostly from hearing it. I mean, it wasn't until we were older when videos really started.
Mm-hmm.
So you had no visual concept of the song, only whatever you came up with in your head. And then later on there's videos, and they, make all these stories and things of these songs that you never would have thought up in your head, and you're thinking, oh, so that's what the song means. Because
well, and
that's not what
there's a lot of bands and singers from the 70s that I'm really, really glad that they didn't have videos, because these were not attractive people.
Mm-mm.
And they didn't look like their voice. So it's like
that That is true.
Never gonna give you up.
Yes, we just got rickrolled.
Come on, his voice and his body do not match. And that's such a
No,
good
but there's some
song.
further back. I'm trying to think an example.
The Righteous Brothers. People didn't know who the
Yeah.
Righteous Brothers, and then they saw them, and they're like these two white guys, and like, holy.
Yeah, that's true.
Miss
You-
Miss Sheepy, you are absolutely correct. I was one of those people who would try and record the radio, and then they would interrupt it to talk about some random shit. I'm like, you
Right, or do a commercial for the local law firm, or
I said, here I am making a mixtape for my boyfriend. You fucked it up. Like, thanks. Nobody wants to hear your voice. Now I have to wait 45 minutes for the song to come back. Thanks.
Good times. Good times.
And when I was a big radio listener, I was in the UK. Now, let me tell you something. They really like techno. Like, I don't know if Neil's still here in the comments. You know what I'm talking about, Neil? But like, if there was an American song like R&B, like it would make it its way over to England, and suddenly it would be like it would have like techno beats into it. And when I was over in England, I just thought that's how that song sounded. So when I joined the military and I went to America, I was like, what is wrong with this song? What did you do to it? It's like, it's always been like this. Like, no, it's trash. Bring the techno back. Like they did like a remix of the Gorilla song "Happy," or no, what's it called?
Happy Together.
No, I think it was called Clint Eastwood. I think that's the name of the song.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so
Yeah, does it
I'm
want anything?
happy, feeling glad
doesn't
I
want
got
anything?
sunshine.
Yes, I know that song.
Yeah, and so it made its way over to England, and they were kind of like,
And then
so
Moby
they
got a hold of it, and
they like made it like the super kind of like upbeat song and stuff like that. And so when we heard like the original thing, it was like, this is not what I thought it would be.
I watch, and it's on YouTube. I get them, but I'm sure they're TikTok videos. This couple who do dance comparing original versions of songs and remakes, and you'd be surprised how many songs from 2000 on are remakes or taken parts of other songs. It's like so many songs. I'm like,
they sample them. Yeah.
they
Well,
sample everything. And it's like, really? Wow.
well, like Party People by what was the name of it? Nelly did a song. It was called "Hot in Here," and that's actually that's a ripoff of something Brown. I can only remember his last name is Brown, but his song was an older one. It was called "Bust a Move," right?
Mhm.
And in Nelly's version, instead of "Bust a Move," he would just say, "I feel like busting loose," right? So, but the beat and everything else is still exactly the same. He just changed like 2 lyrics and threw some titties in there, and everybody was like, "It's art. I love it. Let's all dance in the club," right?
Yeah, but there's so many of them. Like they'll do like these short little TikToks, and with about 8 or so songs. And which is interesting is how many of the songs the remake was done in the same year or a year or two after the original by a more famous artist.
Yeah, who was I'm trying to remember. It was a Michael Jackson song somebody did, and right down to like having his hee in the background. Like they didn't even take it out. I was like, are you even trying?
Right. And it wasn't Weird Al?
No. I'll find it.
Weird Al is awesome.
I love Weird Al.
Just eat it, eat it, eat it.
All the
eat
songs that he did, that's how I sing them when they come on the radio.
Well, and the thing is, Michael Jackson gave him permission and told him where he filmed the original Eat It video so that he could film or Beat It so he could film Eat It there because he was so impressed by him.
Yeah, at one point, like Lady Gaga's producer, when Weird Al sent in the request to do a parody of her video, he told her no, and then she found out, and she's like, "You call him back and tell him yes." Like that's how I know I made it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why he won't do a Prince song because he didn't have Prince's permission.
Prince's, yep.
And so
Most
he
people
won't.
do give him permission now, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I mean because he's not mocking their song. He's just
No. It's fun.
you know, and I can't hear the song All About the Benjamins because I just think all about the Pentiums and his 100 gig of RAM, which was a big deal at the time. And Donny Osmond dancing in the background. Quite nerdy. Yeah.
Quite nerdy.
White and nerdy. That's my favorite. They see me rolling. I play that at the warehouse sometimes because we have like a really diverse culture, but obviously like some of us are white and nerdy, and so when people like make fun of us, we play the song.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
He's going on tour next year with Puddles.
Oh, nice. Oh, Puddles is good.
I love Puddles. I'm waiting for him to come back to Vegas so we can go see him.
Yeah,
we missed him the last time he was here.
Talk about some underappreciated talent. I liked him when he went on the morning show with the lady that was afraid of clowns, and she was like freaking out, and all he did was like glare at her and like lean in close, and she was freaking out the entire time.
I don't know Puddles.
Oh, he was Puddles Pity Party.
I'll get you a link.
6'9".
He's
full
a
clown
giant,
makeup.
He's a giant, sad-looking clown that's an opera singer. That's what.
Yeah,
it is.
but he can sing anything. He was on American Idol. He didn't win, but
No.
I was following him long before American Idol, and it shocked me when I turned it on and they're like, Puddles is on American Idol. Like, no way. But he's hilarious and he has an amazing voice, and he doesn't speak other than singing,
I will check him out.
which kind of threw them for a loop on American Idol because, you know, they usually chit chat with a guest ahead of time. He didn't really chit chat. He just shrugs a lot.
They tried really hard, and he just kept staring at the person, like leaning in uncomfortably. Like he knew
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, Simon was afraid of clowns, but he actually liked Puddles. But he's going to be touring with Weird Al, which would be an awesome combination. Because Weird Al is the best.
All right, I put a link in there for you in the private chat. I don't know if you want to share it, Liz, because I don't think I can share things in your regular comments.
I don't think we can, because last time we tried it wouldn't go through.
Rude.
Just look up Puddles on
Puddles
YouTube, and he's
Party.
he has tons of videos.
He's
He
so
did a
good.
lot. He's done a lot with Postmodern Jukebox. He did a lot of their videos.
I love that.
Yeah, that's the one I linked you because his Royals cover. That's probably my favorite. Yeah.
That one in the Chris Martin band. Who is it? Viva La Vida. His cover of that is good.
He's just talented. Go watch,
He
enjoy, listen to the voice of Gold, and enjoy.
Yeah, he usually does small venues because he interacts with the audience a lot. But yeah, there's some good people who end up on those talent shows and then they don't make it on the show, but they make it on their own later.
Yep.
I mean, he had a following before he was on there, so.
I mean, it's one way to get
did help a
noticed.
lot. It is. Throwing my needles on the floor. It's not very nice.
Oh no.
Luckily, nobody stepped on them.
I want you to also know that Mike and I still consider you all to be spider people. Like we came to this agreement together offline. We're like, they're spider people. Did you watch their hands? Like, oh my goodness.
I thought you meant spider.
Oh, the knitting?
Yeah.
I think Mike was intimidated by Tabitha staring at him.
Poor Mike.
He was awesome. You guys both were. It was the most fun because since he knew nothing about knitting, it made it more fun because the questions he was asking, and Joe Bob trying to make Tabitha slow down was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Throw the yarn across the room. I was like, man, that's dirty.
All the small things. Yeah, that is a very good one. And
I saw Mike in another chat like a week or two after that. I think maybe it was Carrie's chat. So I was like, hey, did you see that the girl we were knitting for, she chose to keep her babies? And he was like all excited. He's like, oh my God, I'm like crying now. I'm so excited. It's so cool.
They kept saved all their babies that month.
Yay.
So that was awesome.
I'm gonna put down the sharp object. Yay.
Don't stab yourself.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I was watching this hair coloring video, which was going to be a total fail because most of them are. And the girl nearly stabbed her. She poked herself in the eye with a hair comb, and the people in the comments were like, that should have been her sign. She needed to stop
Mm-hmm.
and not proceed, because she ended up frying her hair and losing most of it.
There's a female professional bodybuilder that I like to follow. She's very inspiring, but she had one time when she was trying to style her hair and like she like had accidentally like burned like her head right here. So she every time she like styled her hair, she was trying to cover up the burn mark until she's like, screw it, yep, I did that. That was me.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Actually, if somebody really wanted to focus in on mental health help, it would be all the women TikTokers who make drunk videos bleaching their hair because they're depressed and they want their lives better.
That's
A good 75% of them, I'm doing this because I need to change my life and everything sucks. And I need to become blonde now. And I'm depressed.
Yeah, that's
like
that's like so that's an out of control response. So like if you know somebody will like suddenly do that with their hair or they'll cut it all off, that's usually when I'm like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, talk to me. Like, because something's going on that they don't have control of. And so the same thing with like people who either binge eat or have like anorexia,
because they can control it.
Yeah. So that's why they do it.
A lot of them get drunk and do it, which really makes their abilities to do their hair even worse.
I mean, it just makes it tragic, and I'm still gonna be like, so what's going on? You do
like when Britney shaved her head. Yeah.
That was that poor lady. Like
this one girl was like that. Like she just started chopping her hair, and she literally had a manic episode as she was doing it. She admitted she had these episodes and she was having one, but she didn't care. And she had to be like 16 or 17, had chopped most of her hair off. And her mother was just like, what did you do? And she's like, this is what happens. I get in these episodes and I do things to my hair. Take the scissors away from this child because she doesn't need them. And all the ones who think that they can dye their hair from black to platinum blonde with one application, and then they come out their hair's orange because it doesn't take out all the 5 different box dyes that they had on before it in different colors that haven't come out, and then they wonder why.
When I dyed my hair blonde, or rather when I bleached it, I've since darkened it again. I remember when I was sitting in the chair and the stylist was looking at my hair, and she's like, I'm going to try and make you blonde, but I'm pretty sure you're going to pull red from this dye. And I was like, you know what? Strawberry blonde is in, right? Like, I can still make it work. And she was absolutely right. And this is like a professional. And all she did was like kind of move my hair side to side. And she's like, yeah, you're going to be strawberry blonde. I'm like, oh, that's fine.
The one who I watch, Hair Buddha, because he comments on him and he'll say, you know, you can't go platinum. With your hair, you can't be platinum. There's nothing wrong with a nice blonde. Everyone wants this white platinum. He goes, but not everybody can get there.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody should get there. And if you're doing it at home, chances are you're going to fry your hair off anyway and not get there. Anne had orange hair once. That I would like to see. I had orange hair once because I did try to go lighter and it didn't work and I had to dye it darker. But that was a me thing because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, like me in the sewing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping it's going to work out.
The thread through the fabric. As long as there's a knot at the end, you're good.
Yep.
That's my thought. I'm like, it's going to look like a homemade thing because it's absolutely homemade.
And so will every other one there too. So.
I mean, I know I have like a sewing machine somewhere in this house, but I don't know how to use it. And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to thread it and some other terms that I think are, and I just don't have time. So I'm just going to do this.
Oh, okay. And no photographic evidence. I get that.
Oh.
But with the help of AI, I bet we could do it. We could just make a fake image of it. Hello, it's a dog. Hi.
That's true. Well, you know, if you had orange hair, you love orange sweaters, so maybe it would have worked. I don't know. I like your hair the way it is now, Anne. You got the perfect cut for your hair, and it looks great. So. And Neil might need to do a new cross stitch of you with better hair. Just saying. A mullet? Oh, yeah. That's awful. Mullets had their time and place, but I think that's something that should stay in the past.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause most people don't look good with a mullet. And that whole Billy Ray Cyrus thing back in the day was not the way most guys should have done their hair to copy. And
No.
It wasn't a good look
talking
on
to you,
anybody.
Morgan Wallen. Stop it.
yeah, there were a lot of guys who took that hairstyle to heart and really probably shouldn't have. But it was interesting though, because the one hair guy I watched, all these girls who were depressed and then screw up their hair and they're like, oh, it's okay, it's just hair. And he gets mad at them because he says it's not just hair, because people who have alopecia or lose their hair from cancer would give anything to have healthy hair. And, you know, so don't just act like it doesn't matter, because it does matter to a lot of people who can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And one girl was taking shots while she was bleaching her hair. She was barely standing up. Her coordination was not there at all.
Mm.
And I'm like, the things people do for clicks. Like, I don't know. Oh, what was I going to say? I have to look at a calendar. Okay, so there is one more Monday this month, which is the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And then the week after, we will be on Friday, which is the... Oh, crap. Wait. No, wait. Do we want to do next? Oh, next week we are on Friday, because next week's the 1st is Friday.
First Friday
So
of the month.
Yes, November 1st is Friday. So we'll be on, next week we'll be on Friday. Same normal time. And then the rest of the month will be on Monday. So Joe will be there on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So
prepare yourself.
So All Souls Day, we will be podcasting. So bring on the mayhem. I'm sure there will be some. Hopefully Neil can join, because hopefully he'll have the magazine out the day before so he can relax.
Yeah.
And maybe Tabitha and Anne and some of our other peeps can come.
Yep.
It would be lovely to see them.
Caro is always welcome.
Always. And
I will see if
now we know more about trolls than we did before.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You can identify as one. Go for it.
We could.
Look, I
But
did
then
it.
I see
you
it.
did. Yay.
Look, honey. I sewed stuff.
You did.
Yeah.
Sewer.
Yeah.
She's a sewist.
I'm a seamstress now, guys. I make clothes.
Yay.
Hey, make clothes.
Hey, it's always good to have a cape around. You never know when you might need one.
Right.
You know, and you can turn that opposite way around and put it over your head and make it a hood, and then you'd be ready for the knitterati.
It's true. This is actually designed to be pretty much whatever I want it to be. So it's like you can make it a hood or whatever. And so I got it because I wanted to cover up the fact I don't have fasteners on my armor. So it was me trying to think outside the box.
Smart. Very smart.
So you got like this little convenient thing.
All right. I don't know about you, Treese, but I probably need to go eat dinner.
Yeah, me too. And my back is killing me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Just sitting in this
That's
chair.
not good.
It's not a comfortable chair.
I'm sorry.
It will do.
You need a better chair. So if you want to be eligible for a prize, go to our Instagram or email us at knitlightpodcast@gmail.com with a picture of your sweater, crochet, knit, whatever. Doesn't have to be Christmassy, but Christmassy counts more. Teresa's going to figure out hers and start or keep working on hers.
Something.
And Joe Bob is working on one too. So we shall see. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks for being here.
And
thank you,
we
Carol.
really appreciate it. Thank you, Carol. And like and subscribe if you like us and you wish to get notifications.
Tell all your friends.
Maybe YouTube will send them. I don't know. Sometimes
Just
they
sparkle. Just sparkle for me. That's all I want. Go forth and sparkle your best sparkle.
do. And be a troll if that's what you want to be. Because
Identify
we're
as
not
a
gonna stop
troll.
you.
A sparkle troll.
There you go.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We will see you on Friday next week. So no
Goodbye.
Monday.
This
Yeah,
Wait,
because
this Friday?
Friday. No, next Friday.
Next Friday.
We'll see
So-
next week. Next Friday. Yeah, because next week is
Okay, so we're
Friday
skipping Monday.
we're skipping Monday and we're doing Friday
we?
that week.
Okay.
Yes.
But then are we
and
doing
then we're
Monday
back.
the next week?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we're Monday the rest of the month.
All right. All right. I just
That
gotta
way
make
it's-
sure when to show.
It's just the first Friday of the month is what Joe said. So
Okay. All right. That's
Um,
what we do. What Joe says.
Friday mayhem. So, and hopefully she won't spill anything in the mobile office.
No.
But she does have lots of things in the mobile office. Gotta say,
Snacks.
she's very prepared. Snacks, yarn, 1,000 pattern books,
Mhm.
and Lord knows what's in the back. We don't know. Probably not a dead body though.
Probably a body.
Pretty sure of that. Probably a body. I was
Probably
thinking no, but who knows?
Don't alert the authorities.
Please don't. So we'll talk to you guys later.
I guess.
Bye.